It is the riot. I think I've made a mistake with the podcast today.
What do you mean?
Well, Sydney is not going to be assembling the podcast today. I am, for various reasons. And
you get today and tomorrow, so if there's any mistakes.
Well, it's not just a matter of mistakes. Now we're dealing with... I feel like I've saved too much for the podcast, so I've created extra work for myself.
We should have had it smaller.
So maybe I'll go in here and just delete some of these things because I'm just lazy.
No, it'll be fine. What if they need to hear this and you take something out and they needed to hear it today?
You guys need to hear about me sleeping in the closet again?
Yes, they do. They need to know that you're just a man. And you fight the same things that everybody else. Same
battles as everybody else.
We all have the same battle every day, and that makes you feel more human to them.
You know what we do? She's right.
They know that then they can stop beating themselves up about it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What are we going to do today? I've got... we all say one thing and do another.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki is Disney's favorite customer.
Apparently.
Pumpkin Hostess Cupcakes. The Rock is not smelling what he's cooking. UFO sightings are up. 5G and aliens and how it all connects. Wasting money because of Reddit. I really appreciate the text messages that we get about what we say we're going to do and what we end up doing.
Did you put that in there?
I did.
You guys remember everything, and it is scary.
You guys got a real scorecard going here. A real scorecard.
You have a good memory.
Harry and Meghan, ketchup and mushroom candy canes. I'm going to call it a busy-ish podcast.
Yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy it all. 877-2-RADIO-U. You're welcome to text us anytime, even if we're not in the studio. We'll still get your text messages if you just put it's for the riot and your name and that you're a podcast listener. Then we can connect with you when we're back in the studio.
All right. Anything else?
Thanks for listening today. Have a fantastic day.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
I'm convinced that Obadiah is a robot who was pre-programmed with every movie or TV show quote locked in and ready to go. This is The Riot on Radio U.
And I don't know what happened, but I'm back in the closet.
Oh, meaning he's falling asleep in the closet before he comes to the show. So
yeah,
you're not getting up in enough time. Is that it? Or?
No. Here's the thing is I got up on time.
Yeah.
And, alarm went off, turn the alarm off, go into the bathroom. I always feel like it sounds snotty when I say it, but I have like a walk-in closet on the other side of my bathroom because, I have so many clothes. So many. So I go through my bathroom into the closet and I just laid down. So I had a bunch of laundry that I haven't put away because that's how I like to do it.
Sure. And that seems to be key always when these moments happen.
And so I pulled some of this clean laundry out. I laid it on the floor. This becomes a pillow. And I think you'd be surprised just how comfortable a stack of T-shirts can be.
So do you leave the pillow there all the time then? Or like this morning you gather the items?
No, I mean, like I put them back in the basket. But, I'm not... I think a lot of us think that, I'm just at home laying around doing nothing. Like yesterday, I'm not going to tell you everything I did, but I did a lot.
You had a very busy day.
And so when it comes down to like, hey, you should put the laundry away, you're like, why? I'm just going to end up wearing it and putting it in the hamper anyway. So why not just leave it stacked next to the hamper in that basket?
But maybe the falling asleep in the closet when you're getting ready, if you brought the clothes into the bathroom. Like the night before you picked out whatever you're going to wear.
Oh, so you couldn't go in there?
Yeah, that way that was like a no zone until later.
A no zone.
You can go in after, like on the weekends, but you can't go fall asleep on weekdays.
I don't know, but like I'll just say that I feel like if you guys had gotten a chance to see me on the floor in my closet this morning, talking to myself, trying to like
motivate,
get myself to wake up, to move, to go, I think you'd be like, you know what? This guy needs professional intervention.
Now it's just early.
Somebody needs to get in there and teach him something.
Aww.
Because, whoa. But you know what? I'm here.
You're fine.
I made it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to tell you guys this. Maybe I shouldn't have.
You chose to share because I think others are living that same difficult time by gathering their dirty or clean clothes.
In this case, it was clean, but I'll tell you, I'm not above dirty.
So clothes into the closet to make a resting spot when we should have been up.
I was up.
Well, staying up.
Well, let's say it another way. I wasn't in bed. So, like...
No, you made a bed.
That's a huge accomplishment.
You made one.
Look what you did. You got out of bed.
Obadiah and Nikki, fueled by donuts, coffee, and TikTok. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I want to say hi to Joel. He hit us up on Twitter yesterday, which you can too. I'm at Obadiah Radio U. Nikki's at Radio U. Nikki?
Yeah, and you're welcome to follow us at Radio U as well on Twitter.
So he found the iced pumpkin cupcakes from Hostess.
Those looked good. I think they look pretty good.
I'll tell you what, tear to my eye. That's how good they look.
I told him because he seemed like embarrassed because, you feel tempted by them. And I said, no, you know what? At this time of the year and as we get even to the winter holiday items that'll come, after Halloween stuff, let's not make ourselves feel bad, okay?
I don't feel bad about it.
Let's just enjoy whatever pumpkin things we find.
I think it looks fantastic.
We have to put them on the list. We should go find them.
We should. And I want fall really badly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready for anything to just change. Like, something just changed.
So even if it's the heat, that's enough?
I mean, something change, please. And I don't, okay, can I say change for the better? What I'm not looking for is like unprecedented heat wave as we hit 130 degrees. Like, I'm looking for cooler temperatures. We talked about this yesterday. I want my terrarium.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not willing to force feed myself an iced pumpkin cupcake when it's 95 degrees outside.
Yeah, but that'll change soon. It is going to turn to fall in a few weeks.
It needs to.
The day after Obi's birthday. And I know that doesn't mean we get fall temperatures everywhere, but at least we're into that season.
Hey, man, I'm ready for it. So, Joel, thank you for sending that.
Thanks for thinking of us.
Absolutely.
By finding that.
We appreciate you. So if anybody else has got something you want to send us, hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, or you can just text us at 877-2-RADIO-U.
So even if we're not on, you just put, hey, it's for the riot, put your name, and send us a pic, which is what you guys tend to do a lot of times.
And if you happen to drop by some iced pumpkin cupcakes.
Is that not a bad thing?
I mean, I can't let you in because COVID, but if those cupcakes just happen to appear somewhere, oh, wow.
We'll just wipe them off and we'll bring them in. It's not the cupcakes' fault.
It just is what it is.
We'll quickly get those inside.
The Riot, no filter, ever. Radio U.
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Neither can The Rock.
No.
What?
Well, it's taste, remember? Is it smell as well, or is it taste? It's both?
Yeah.
I thought that was shocking that he said all that yesterday.
Well, I haven't watched the entire video, but The Rock, one Dwayne Johnson, has revealed that his entire family, like himself, his wife, and his two daughters, all have the coronavirus.
He said thankfully they're on the other side of it, but that it was extremely difficult to, not only for him to have it, but it seemed like for the rest of the family to get it too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, you can imagine as a dad knowing that your kids have it.
Yeah,
like,
being very scared.
Yeah, because he's like, man, I'm The Rock. I'm not scared of the Rona. But your kids, you're like, well, what are you doing?
So I wonder when he actually had it, though, if he's on the other side of it. They said that they're basically past the worst of it.
So when they're past the worst of it, like, do they still have it?
I don't know, because for some, they tell us like months later after they've had it, and others more currently. So I couldn't really tell from his stuff that he was saying.
So,
but thankfully, again, they're on the other side of it.
They are, but it's crazy to me to see. I don't know why, but there are two things that I feel like a lot of times bring things home to us. It's either if somebody very close to us that we know or a celebrity we like.
Sure.
Those seem to be the things that help us realize something is like really happening out there. And that's the case with this. Like, I mean, I don't love The Rock, but I sure do like him.
I know. That was sad to hear.
I sure do like him. And he had the Rona, Nikki. If it could happen to The Rock, who, I mean, let's face it. If we start comparing, like my fitness level to The Rock's fitness level.
Sure.
There is a gap there.
Are you sure?
There's a gap.
You're saying yours is not at his level?
Well, let's just say that one of us is a little further along in their fitness journey, but we're not going to say who.
You guys decide.
Okay? But if he could get it, that means
Well, I mean, it doesn't really have to do with your fitness level on if you could get it or not.
I know, but see, my concern would be is like, yes, The Rock drop kicked it into the middle of next week, but even he was susceptible.
Sure.
That means that I am susceptible.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep wearing my mask.
That sounds like a good plan.
So The Rock, he's okay.
Yeah, but he was saying how his entire family, so that was something he sent out a video out about yesterday.
Whoa. Well, I'm glad he's okay. In the meantime, let's just keep being careful. No, I'm not the mouthpiece for fear. I'm just telling you to be careful. Because The Rock, y'all.
Are we sure the riot is essential? I'm not convinced. The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on Radio U.
I will tell you that if you've been feeling depressed, you are not alone. The number of Americans that reported depression symptoms during the pandemic this year has tripled. So very
compared
similar
to the previous year.
Yeah, compared to previous years. So very similar to what we said about anxiety last week, and that people are reporting more symptoms now. Here's something I want to throw out there. One of the things that people don't understand is that the symptoms of depression are different than you think they are. Like, they are not, I feel very sad. That can be, but it actually, there's way more to it than that. One of them, especially in men, like one of the first symptoms that are reported is anger. Men get very angry and irritable usually with their depression. Now, I would just like to lay that fun fact out next to this statistic, and then let's all think about the world for a little while. Who's angry right now? I don't know. Everybody?
Oh, so that is maybe the anger is people who are actually fighting depression and they just don't realize it.
I'm not saying that that's all the anger.
Sure.
I'm not. But I am saying that a rise in anger also being tied to a rise in depression to me makes
sense.
Perfect sense.
Wow.
I like when I'm dealing with depression, one of the first things I will notice, because like sometimes I'm fine and sometimes I'm not. But when I'm kind of transitioning from fine to not, anger is something I'll start to notice. I'll get really mad about nothing. Like, I can't even give you an example. Just imagine something stupid. There you go. Like, I'm not angry about injustice. I'm angry about something else.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? And so it's just, I feel like that's something for us to think about. I'm not saying there are not things in the world to be angry about. There are. But if you're noticing a large increase in anger in your day-to-day life, you may be experiencing some symptoms of depression. And one of, there are ways that you can deal with that, whether it's exercise or like there's a lot of things that you could do. But it's just something to be thinking
aware
about.
of.
And to know that you're not alone. It's not, a lot of times people don't want to speak up because you're like, hey, I feel depressed. That feels cliche. And then you have to deal with all of the like things you've seen in the media and on TV for years. Don't worry about any of that kind of stuff. If you got something going on, speak up about it, do something about it, and realize that, as Nightbird would tell you, it's okay. Like, it is. It's okay to be feeling those things. You just got to work through them a little bit.
At this point, they could really do the show in their sleep. And honestly, it would probably sound better that way. The Riot. Radio U.
It's all listener supported. It's how we do it. Our fundraiser starts 1 week from Monday. That should be another thing that's like a fall signal for me. Mm-hmm. That once that starts, I should be like, oh, it's fall.
That's when, really for us in-house, that's kind of our marker.
Yeah, so I should be getting that.
I saw a memory, too, of I think it was not last year, but the year before. We were already apple picking and stuff, so it's here. It's not maybe feeling like it's here, but it's here.
Guess what I'm doing tonight?
Are you going apple picking tonight? Hey.
I am.
Way to go.
I'm DJing a wedding tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So that my plan was to do it tomorrow night, and I kind of got my dates mixed up. So I called my dates back, and we're going tonight.
Yay, that's a great idea.
It is. So the U-Pick place that I normally go, it was that they did Friday and Saturday, maybe Sunday, I'm not sure. I don't pick apples on the Lord's Day.
Really?
Why do I think that's funny? But they now pick Tuesday through Saturday.
Oh, so you can go more days. Right.
So the idea is they've kind of spaced it out so that, social distancing with the apples.
Yeah, but you can still go out and pick them yourself.
You can. So there's probably a COVID surcharge, overcharge, but I'm still going to do it. I'll just tell you, We've said it many times, but let me say it again. People make snarky remarks like, oh, yeah, pay to do labor on the farm. Like,
Meaning like, why are we going to go pick our own?
I go to the grocery store. They're picked for me. Man, real talk, you should get some apples that you picked yourself, because when you start eating apples that are fresh picked, it's the best time of the year.
They taste way different.
Oh, it's so good.
Did you see what they're selling or what you can pick?
Gala?
Gala, okay.
Gala? I don't know how you say it, but that. And I like those quite a bit, actually. And the real hotness near me is a variety called, I believe it's Honey Crisp.
Everybody knows those.
Right? Okay.
Those are the very expensive ones.
Right. So that's the one that basically the entire, I think for roughly 300 miles, people drive in
Go for
to
those.
pick these apples. You know what? I don't think they're very good.
Okay, well, watch what you're saying, because a lot of people like them, and they tend to pick those to where you can only buy them in like prepackaged things because they are so popular.
I'm just telling you, like, compared to like a Gala, a Suncrisp is really good. A Jonna Gold, a straight Golden Delicious is good. Like all that stuff.
Well, you go in hungry because you can eat.
Yeah, you can eat all the apples you want.
You can eat them while you're picking them.
Oh, it's so good.
You should bring like a little cinnamon. It's like you're just,
Don't mind me.
I'm just making myself at home while I fill this bag up.
I do have my Easy Bake Oven with me, and I want to see.
No, you bring your air fryer or something. You're supposed to air fry your apples, and they're supposed to be amazing.
Really?
Yeah, you put them in there, and you can put sometimes like some brown sugar or just cinnamon on there, and they are supposed to be really good.
That sounds amazing.
It does. Look at all us guys. Look at this.
All right, well, maybe
picking apples.
Maybe fall's here.
Could be.
It's not. It's freaking hot out there.
I know, but it's nice to think about it.
I know, but oh, come on, bring on the apples, dude. It's gonna be great.
So you gonna bring in any tomorrow? Your snack for your breakfast?
No, I still like to stick to snack cakes for that.
Obadiah and Nikki wake up with you every morning because they love you. And because no one has ever demanded anything better. This is The Riot on Radio U.
So we were talking, I think about half an hour ago, about this idea that we've seen over the last 2 weeks. They may be the same study or maybe they were two separate studies. Don't know the answer to that, but in the U.S., between 2019 and 2020, we have seen symptoms of anxiety in the population triple. Mm-hmm. So it's basically gone from, I believe it was almost around 9% to somewhere between 27 and 30%. With people with extreme symptoms, that number has increased by 5. So like 5 times as many people. So it's almost like if you had pre-existing condition, it's actually been further agitated by, 2020, like whatever it is.
That's all you got to say with it.
So here's the thing I will say in the middle of all this. There's a lot of things to do to take care of yourself. But one of the things that God says is that if you come to me, I will give you rest. Now, God says he's going to give us rest. If you don't know much about Jesus, something that you should know is that Jesus is forgiving and loving, and he doesn't want to hold anything against you. So you might say like, yeah, I'm going to go to God for help, but first I've got a blank, blank, and blank. I'm going to just go ahead and tell you, you don't have to meet a bunch of pre-qualifications. You don't have to dress a certain way, act a certain way, go a certain place, whatever. There isn't anything that you've done or anything that anybody has done to you that disqualifies you from going to God for some help. And he says that if you will come to him, he'll give you rest. Now, that means there's only one thing that you have to do. You've got to go to him. So if you want rest, if you're looking for some peace today, you've got to go to him. Now, one of the things I've found is that it isn't always like, hey, God, can you help me get some peace? And then within 30 seconds, I'm just like blissfully in some meadow where the birds are chirping. But what I found is that given a little bit of time, God really does move in. And I do see God moving and helping. But I've got to go to him and ask. He just says, come to me, get away with me. I'm going to teach you how to rest. So look, take some time today. Go to God and say, God, I need some help with this. Doesn't have to be fancy. Doesn't have to be anything. You can literally just say, Jesus, I want you to help me today. I need some peace and I need some rest. And if you've never started a friendship or relationship with God, why not now? Why not just say, Jesus, I want you around all the time. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. And I want you to show me how to live. I want you to show me how to get some rest and some peace. Don't feel bad about, being a little rough out there, but get what you need. Like, don't not have what you need. That's very profound. Very profound.
Everybody does understand.
It was that last bit that really drove it home.
Really hit home.
3 things we know for sure will survive the apocalypse: cockroaches, Twinkies, and the riot on Radio U.
Nikki is much loved. Now, she doesn't even know this, but I felt it come into the room. It was it's what my philosophy professor, Lincoln Stevens, would have called a non-sensuous perception.
Mm-hmm.
I was still able to sense it move into the room, and that was the love and acceptance of Disney. When off air, Nikki said, Mulan tomorrow.
Oh, I was just excited.
I wonder if I can pre-order it.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I don't forget for tomorrow, because I would like to watch it tomorrow.
I know.
But tomorrow's a busy day, so what if I miss it and I forget, and then I have to watch it some other day?
Don't you feel like Mulan coming to Disney Plus tomorrow, if you're willing to pay $30, is one of the most prominent news stories in the world today?
Not if I go, I don't plan on doing a lot online tomorrow, so what if I completely miss it? I don't go into Disney Plus most days. It is very rarely used.
Well,
even though I prepaid for 3 years, so it's fine. Yes! And it's not like I hate it. I don't hate it. It's just not an everyday check-in. I'll check in with more like Netflix than I do Disney Plus.
The people that I share Disney Plus with use it all the time, but I don't.
Just not you, yeah.
Trying to think, when was the last time?
So that's why I wanted to remember tomorrow that, hey, there actually is something there.
Oh, yeah?
I just need to pay more for it.
Fantastic.
I'm excited.
The idea of you being so concerned about making sure that you pay Disney.
I set a reminder.
Oh my gosh.
Set a reminder.
Oh my gosh.
I know it's bad. I know.
They are. I mean, you can just feel the warmth.
They're giddy.
You can feel the Disney love moving into this place. You can feel the Magic Kingdom magic as it moves towards your heart, Nikki.
Well, I'm excited to spend that extra $30 tomorrow.
Do you just want to go? I mean, you could use your credit card, but would you like to go ahead and give them your routing number and checking account number so they can auto draft?
No, I was tempted, though. I thought, well, maybe I should stay up. And, when are they going to push it out? Should I watch it before the show tomorrow?
Do you remember what happened the last time we did that?
It doesn't bode well for us the rest of the day because we get very tired.
Do you remember what happened?
I do.
The last time we're like, we'll go to a midnight movie. We'll stay up and then we'll do the show and then we'll just be done.
Didn't one of us I think I fell asleep at 4 though at my desk.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, because we just couldn't make it.
I laid down on the floor and wrapped a sweatshirt around one of the legs of my chair and used that as a pillow.
Yep.
And laid there for I don't even know how long.
So we normally cannot do late night movies and still make it in and be 100% of what we want to be during the show the next day.
No, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait.
Fine.
But you know
Come
what?
on.
How about this? Why don't you stay up until midnight, and that way you'll be able to go ahead and give them your $30 so it's preloaded and ready for you.
I was just excited. I haven't seen a movie in forever. I mean, we've had movies, but they just, I haven't seen a blockbuster movie, that sort of thing.
You know what, Nikki? Why don't you make it a blockbuster night?
Yeah, I'll stay up.
Okay.
Just stay up and watch it.
And a heads up, if you don't want to drop the $30, Mulan goes free, quote unquote. It becomes part of the Disney Plus package on December 4th.
I know, but that's a good ways away. I can pay. It's
3
okay.
months.
It's just a lunch and a dinner. It's fine.
It's just a lunch, a dinner, and a pint of plasma.
It's only $30. It's okay.
It's fine.
It's all right.
No big deal.
And then maybe this will show them that I prefer movies this way, not going to the theaters.
I really do. They probably won't tell us, but I want to know how many people pay.
Oh, I know. I'm
know
super curious.
What kind of money they end up making.
And so Mulan will be released internationally to theaters, but the question is, does it count towards a weekend movie? You know, like on Monday when they give you the weekend box office totals?
I have no idea.
Do you actually see that? Because they don't have to tell those numbers. They just used to always do that. So would Disney share it?
I don't know. I hope so. I would just like to know.
If it goes well, they will. If it doesn't, they won't.
I'd like to know how many people are in the club I'm not joining.
It's fine. I don't mind.
Well, you know what, Nikki? You're going to carry the show's flag into that.
Yeah,
so
I'll tell you how Mulan is when I get to watch. And we're off on Monday, so I do have a long weekend with it in case I can't get to it tomorrow.
So you can watch it over and over and over again?
No. Yes.
So you can lay in bed with your plastic sword and be Mulan?
No, I plan on watching the animated versions. And then end with the new Mulan.
You know what you should do? You should write a really long blog post comparing and contrasting the animated one versus the live action one and help us understand which one you like best and why.
That'll be done by someone else.
The Riot, making coffee seem sweet by comparison. Radio U.
Now, I may have been flinging things at Nikki moments ago in regards to Mulan, but I feel like it's time for a little disclosure. I think that because I'm suffering from a similar problem, but it is so much worse. Where do we start? I think I'm going to have to stop looking at Reddit for a while.
I think you are.
Now, you tell me why you think so.
Well, because it always makes you want things, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. We don't say no to each other. So, like, there's not someone in this room going, well, are you sure? Should you wait? You know, like, maybe we shouldn't buy this.
Let me hold you accountable.
Yeah, like, we don't have any accountability for things we want to purchase or do in this room. And our friends as well, and our family, I don't think they just understand. So then you go to Reddit, and you're then looking at people who are also not having anybody saying no. So everybody's just there going, yeah, let's do it.
See,
let's go buy it.
The thing I would say is that I think that you and I do provide a level of accountability because, you know, we make fun of each other on air. So you're going to spend $30 on Mulan, and I'm going to make that painful for you.
Yeah,
and
I'll still do it, but it hurts while I do it.
And so that keeps you from doing other things.
Sure.
Because you're like, oh, gosh, he hurt me so much about Mulan. He'll kill me when it comes to this other thing.
You're the one last weekend who watched Bill and Ted 3. So you paid for that.
It's not even close to the same.
It is the same.
It's not at all.
It's identical.
It was $10 cheaper.
No, I think it's like $5 cheaper.
Well, whatever.
So
can we get back on me instead of making fun of me?
So you don't know if you should go to Reddit anymore because, you know, it's not.
Reddit is one big enabling society.
Yeah. It's bad. Are you still on forums for all this stuff? You got to get off the forums.
Well, then if you leave the forums, that's Reddit.
Well, like the forums on home theaters, graphics cards.
That's the one that's getting me, dude.
And 4K Blu-rays.
Man,
there's your trouble
You,
areas.
NVIDIA announced their new graphics card this week. And you guys know I went back to saving money for my PlayStation 5. I got my envelope. I think I've got $300 saved. Yeah, for a PlayStation 5.
But if your graphics card, the new one's coming out, would you want the $700 one?
Well, yeah, and I was like, well, I could sell this for this and that for that. And I was just doing the math. And I mean, I'm laying in bed all night doing the math, just like this, that, okay. How many meals do I have to skip? Right.
Well, then you need to go find some budget ways to save money on Reddit forums to help out on this.
I know. And they would be like, you don't need the latest and the greatest.
Yes, I do.
You can just wait.
Aww.
And it's stuff where I'm like, the PlayStation and the Xbox, they're trash. I don't even want it anymore. I just want this. That's all I want.
That's all you want. And you know what's really hard, too? I want to be supportive because I know that is what you would really like.
Yes, it is.
It's different from all the other, like, silly things we want. This one's real.
This one's a real one.
Yeah.
It is. But you know what I'm going to do? I almost deleted the Reddit app last night where I was like, you know what? We just got to cut it off for a little while. That's all. We just got to get through the holidays without it. And, you know, it's fine.
Well, why do you have to completely cut it off? Why can't you just go silent on some of those forums?
Because I think at the end of the day, aside from the what could go wrong and like stupid humans and a couple of other things.
What else are you there for?
That's all I'm there for. I almost never visit the main page. I just immediately go to the stupid stuff. that I like and just leave it at that.
Man, when that graphics card news came out yesterday, I knew you guys would be in trouble. I know Eric's in the same boat. He's already talking about it.
I know. Eric and I.
What you guys say is trying to be reasonable. You're like, well, let's wait till Christmas. When I know deep down that's like, what can we do to make this happen now?
I said yesterday to Eric, I was like, I don't want to get caught up in all the hype and like I'm trying to get it first and I want to be the first person to have it, whatever. And last night I'm on Reddit like, okay, now if I took that day off.
How can I be first?
And we camped out. Let's say I got there at like 9 p.m. and we were just there all night. We just waited till they opened.
For a graphics card? Can't you just buy one online? Like
not when they launch.
Not when they launch?
Because quantities will be limited.
All right.
The last time I did this was for the 1080, and I bought it, and the way I ended up getting it was I had surgery, and so I couldn't sleep very well. So I was up at 3 a.m. when they came in stock.
So you just went over?
And I bought... No. I was online.
Oh, I got you.
I was online. It was like 3 a.m. I got this email for a stock alert. And I was like, don't think, just buy.
That's the problem.
It's not good.
Well, we all face these things. We're all having things that we want to buy, we all have to just kind of work our way through it.
Yeah, and delete the Reddit app. We got to get out. I got to go off Reddit for a while, guys. I just have to.
But you don't have to if you buy the graphics card.
You're not helping right now. This is wrapping up in an unhelpful way.
You keep hearing what the riot is saying. Now make them listen to you. Text or call 877-2-RADIO-U.
Look, during this whole pandemic, stay at home, something, whatever, I think absolutely everybody is saying one thing and doing something else. Now, of course, Nancy Pelosi is so in the spotlight yesterday. She wants an apology. Other people are saying, wow, you said one of the problems is that people don't take responsibility for their acts. And I mean, it's just like on and on and on and on and on. But I want you to know, it's not just high-ranking government officials that are saying one thing and doing another. Meaning like they're saying we should be doing one thing and that they are also following those rules, but then they get caught not following them? Right now I'm looking at somebody that I don't necessarily follow them, but I follow a website called Cracked, CRACKED.com. They, you know what? They actually write some bizarrely insightful articles.
Is it real or is it satire?
No, it's
real.
It's real. A lot of it's just listicles, but some of the stuff they write it's surprisingly good. Not all of it. Let's just be clear, but some of it. And so
in case you go to the site and you're like, wow, it might not all be great.
This guy, J.M. McNabb, I read an article he wrote last week in which he said that, let's see, do I have the direct quote here? He said that Tenet was going to lead to an influx of corpses.
What's that mean?
Meaning that we were all going to go to the movies and then die.
Well, that's really harsh to say.
Okay, so that's what he said last week.
Yeah, what is he saying this week?
And this week he's writing a review of his experience going to see Tenet.
No way.
And the one thing I'll give him credit for, he owns it.
He owns up to it?
He owns it. He's like, hey, remember last week when I told you we were all going to die because of Tenet coming to movie theaters? Well, I went.
Oh, I don't like when people are like how he would have been categorized that first week when they're really intense with it and like really trying to go for it to be extra hurtful. And then they don't even follow up with their own statements and thoughts.
I almost feel like at times the more intense we are about it, the more likely we are to not
to follow through. Yeah, that's a good point.
When somebody is going so hard, here's my example that just popped into my head. If I see you on social media going on and on and on about how much you love your significant other, I'm like, oh, they barely love them at all. Because
they feel like they need to overstate it.
This is overly demonstrative.
Sure.
This is ridiculous. Get a room. Come on. Like that.
Now, does it mean if you're like, well, wait a minute, it doesn't mean for everybody. But yeah, a lot of times that could be the case.
That's just what I think. So when this guy is like, this movie is going to mean we're all going to be corpses. We're all going to die because of this movie. He had that massively strong reaction. And what did he do?
He went to the movies.
He went days later to the movies.
So why? Did he get paid to do a review or what?
No, he was like, I really like the movies. The infection rates are really low in my area.
Oh, so he went back on that.
He gave all his justifications for it. And he went and he said that he saw it in an empty theater.
Yeah, that's been the case for a lot of people in our area. They've been showing it all week, even though it's not really out till today. I mean, just it's not as crowded. There's only certain showings. They're later in the day. They're distancing. People just aren't into it as much yet.
Yeah. So
you guys are funny.
Kyle says, oh, you mean kind of like when Nikki said she'd never wear Crocs?
Hey, a generous listener sent me a pair of Crocs. So I technically it's a little different.
She compromised for you, okay?
I compromised for the listeners.
Yeah. But I just love it.
And I didn't say mean things about if you were wearing Crocs and all these people would die like this guy was.
Well, you know, I mean, I feel like it was implied.
I don't think it was at all.
I'm pretty sure I heard something.
Oh, well, okay. So he went and he said it was fine.
Yeah. He said it was really creepy to watch a movie alone. I don't know. I've seen lots of movies by myself. Like, seriously. Back when I had Movie Pass.
Yeah. You were always fine with it.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Hurricane Heist all by myself. That was weird, right?
I'm not surprised.
What?
You're the only one to see that movie.
Can't believe that.
The Riot is listener supported. Yeah, we can't believe they've lasted this long either. Radio U.
You know, moments ago we were discussing the disparity between what we say and what we do, and how the highest of government officials and even online bloggers are not exempt from this behavior, that we would say one thing and turn around and do the other. And now we've learned that everyone has a scorecard at home where they're
keeping track
of every time Nikki said one thing and did the other.
You guys are funny.
So let's take a look here, Nikki. Let's see. Kyle says, kind of like when you said you'd never wear Crocs.
But, I mean, I never bought a pair. Someone gave me a pair of Crocs, and I don't wear them too often. They're a bright yellow. It's a bold color choice. But they're great inside shoes.
All right, Nikki. Randall says, how about the Switch, Nikki?
What about the Switch? Meaning because I wanted to buy a light?
No.
What's the Switch then?
Perhaps... Perhaps you'll recall the entire morning that you spent telling us that you were going to be mature and you were going to wait and you weren't going to just run out and get it, but Christmas was coming and I'll get it at Christmas.
Wait, why do you guys remember stuff from so long ago? And then we went to lunch and I bought it.
And then Jason responded to Kyle.
Yeah.
We're reading Kyle's text and Jason's responding to him. We're passing messages back and forth.
Why are you guys worried about this?
Jason says, no, Kyle. It's like how Nikki made fun of hot tub culture.
I never did. I made fun of, like, you buy a hot tub when they're selling them at the state fair, because we used to sit across from that and we would see what all would go on with that. But I have a hot tub.
Yeah, well, Nikki, that's the point.
I'm in the culture. So I guess you could say I could say anything I want about it because I'm in it.
You're in the culture, and now you're growing a culture.
Apparently. Guys, why do you remember everything and then bring it and try to throw it back in our face? What is this? I mean, is this positive or is this negative?
I'll just say this to you again, Nikki, that is very much, I mean, you know what? You're like Nancy Pelosi, okay? All right?
God.
I mean, you are practically walking around getting your hair did and with no mask on.
And then I go and say I was a trap.
There it is. You got trapped by the hot tub
Apparently,
and the Switch and the Mulan and the list goes on.
Listen, we all do it. We all try to stay strong when we're being vocal about it or we're in people's face. But then when you get home and it's just you in the movie or the crock or the whatever, you're like, okay, fine. You can't say no forever.
That's why, Nikki, you're better off. Don't tell everybody you're going to say no. Just
keep it more neutral.
Resolve it to yourself. I'm not going to do that. And then it's fine. But if you came in here going, I am not going to eat that cookie, there's going to be crumbs on the table within 10 minutes.
I know. The more you are really trying to be strong about it, it's hard to stay completely strong.
That's why I'm not strong for anything anymore. I indulge my every whim and do whatever I want all the time.
I think we're supposed to probably go in the middle, you know?
Oh, okay.
So not all the way to one side, not to the other. We're just supposed to try our best.
Sometimes eat the cookie.
Yeah. Or
sometimes buy the hot tub.
Is it just one cookie? Within moderation, that's the word.
Well, I reject that.
Oh, that's not the answer we're looking for.
The Riot. Because going outside is overrated. Radio U.
Nikki, you know what we probably need to do is we probably need to get our hands on some more donuts around here. I don't feel like we've talked about donuts for at least an hour. Could have been actually less than that.
I did see an ad for this set, and I thought they looked pretty good.
Did we talk about this yet?
We did not, but on Facebook I saw it being promoted, so I did see the lineup of them, but we haven't mentioned them yet.
So here, just the other thing that we sometimes deal with is the fact that Krispy Kreme, we'll find out what donuts they're releasing like in Australia.
No, I think this is here.
Well, I know, but that sometimes causes us to miss, there's a lesson there. We're always looking at what other people are getting. We can't appreciate what's right in front of us.
What's going on in our own home country.
That's right. So Krispy Kreme is releasing their collection of pumpkin spice donuts.
Yeah.
Oh, they do look good.
Pretty good. I mean, sometimes, I don't know. It doesn't look as good as some of their past ones because that's a lot of pumpkin right there.
Okay, well, let's get started here. The pumpkin spice original glazed.
That could be good.
The pumpkin spice cake donut that is also covered in Krispy Kreme's signature glaze. You know what? Let's wash our mouth there a little bit.
You like cake donuts.
I do like cake donuts.
I do not.
A pumpkin spice original filled cheesecake donut.
That could be good.
Ooh,
so you know how they have
there.
their signature donut that's filled now with vanilla or chocolate?
Yes.
So it's like that, but it's filled with a pumpkin cheesecake cream.
And then it's topped with cheesecake icing.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I'll have that. And then the pumpkin spice cinnamon roll donut, brand new for 2020. It's a pumpkin spice sugar blend topped with cream cheese icing and cinnamon schmear. Mm-hmm. What's schmear?
Well, that's the circle, the little glazy thing going on. That's what that is.
Okay, all right. I was mistaking that one for the filled cheesecake donut.
No, the filled cheesecake just has like a light little couple of lines of icing on top.
Okay.
So that's going to be at Krispy Kreme through September, so this month.
I'm not going to lie. I'm hungry.
You want to go get some next week?
Why wait?
Well, I mean, I didn't know do we have time left this week?
The thing is, the comet could hit tomorrow.
And then we never had him.
And we never had him.
Because we always put things off, don't we?
There we are on the doorstep of heaven. And we're like, but wait, I have unfinished business on earth.
Well, we could go tomorrow. I can't go today, but we can go tomorrow.
I can't go tomorrow.
See, this is it. This is where life gets in. I mean, we can't do it Monday. Monday, we're off for Labor Day.
I can't go tomorrow. The comet's coming.
What about Tuesday? No, I don't know what Tuesday. And Wednesday, we've got a lot of stuff. So then we're looking at next Thursday or Friday.
You know what,
and
though?
I have meetings on Thursday, so then it would have to be next Friday.
I got an idea, though.
What?
Go with me on this. Cancel your Thursday meetings. Let's get donuts.
I can't. Can't do that.
You can't.
I have 3 meetings. I can't do that.
Be strong.
What if I got them in the afternoon and we just had
I'll
them?
make the phone calls.
Maybe we should get them in the afternoon and then we have them tomorrow during the show.
Okay, I'll give you permission to go.
It's possibly not as fresh
Right.
as if you happen to get to a Krispy Kreme right when they were making them, but they're not.
We would know. No, you can. Hey, if the hot light's on, you be careful with that.
Whatever. They're like, here, turn it on.
As someone that's turned the
It's
hot
the
light on
reheat hot
before,
light.
I know how it works.
That was back in the day.
So
it's
you
different.
you just be careful with that.
All right, well, maybe I'll make a little note to try. If I tried to get them today, do you want to have them tomorrow morning? Or would you rather save it for next week?
I couldn't.
Well, I don't know. I just want to make sure.
You know what? I can't believe I'm going to say this.
But do you want? We've done a lot this
But
week.
let's save them for next
Want
week.
to say, okay, that's what I think too.
And this is the sound of us not getting the Krispy Kreme
No.
donuts.
What if we get them on Tuesday? We have them Tuesday. Are they open on Monday for a holiday? I can pick them up then.
If you want to, but you and I both know that on your day off for Labor Day.
Oh, I would if I set a reminder. I would go do it.
No, you wouldn't.
Why wouldn't I? I'd send Eric. Is that what you're saying? Oh, you're making the face.
Exactly.
No, it's teamwork.
You would not
We're a
go.
team.
You would not go. You would send your representative.
That's not how it is. That does sound like a good idea, though, but that's not always how it is. We go together.
No, you wouldn't?
Yes, we would. I like going to the donut place.
Hey, Eric, could you?
I really need it for the show.
I need it for the show, and he's going to make fun of me if I don't have it. And here, could you I'm going to take this selfie. Could you Photoshop me in the car so it looks like I went?
Like I went together.
So that we were doing it together.
Let's think good thoughts and positive things and nice things. So maybe on Monday,
I prefer to think about the truth, Nikki.
Because it hurts. And then on Tuesday, maybe we'll try these donuts during the show.
The Riot's all new, safe for little ears guarantee. If you have little ears, we won't make fun of them. I mean, come on, it's your ears. You just have a big head. Radio U.
Hey, Nikki, did you hear what's up 50% during the pandemic?
What's up 50%?
What's up?
I feel like I'm walking into a joke here.
You know what? UFO sightings are up 51%.
Now, is it because
According to the National UFO Reporting Center, they record UFO-related events. They say that sightings are up 51% this year over 2019.
I don't mean this in a mean way, but because I know that just this has been what's up. But is it because night drinking is up too, that we tend to see more UFO or things that we don't know what we're really actually looking at?
Nikki, our government this year confirmed the existence of UFOs.
They did.
They released footage where they are like, hey, we don't know.
Listen,
what this is.
I don't even want to think about that. I don't want anything else from this year. So I don't want that to be a thing, too.
There's been a few stories this year that, because of the pandemic, have just come out and disappeared, where in other years they would have been huge.
They would have been the big news.
Yeah. So 51%. I think the answer here is clear. Like, I understand why this is. The aliens brought COVID. That's where it came from. They've been coming down and dropping 5G towers.
5G towers. I knew 5G would make it in there.
That's been spreading COVID.
I don't know.
You know what, Nikki? Just because you don't like the truth doesn't mean it's not true.
What about, here's another thing. Now, I think we've gone backwards and maybe have gone back to a lot of the pollution and stuff. But for a while there, at the beginning of all the quarantine stuff, areas really saw a big decrease in pollution to where you had much clearer skies. So maybe we could see more things.
You can see them better.
You could see things better of stuff going on up there.
Yeah. You know what? You're probably right. But, the other thing I was thinking is that the aliens are probably dropping the 5G towers. And
don't want to hear about the 5G.
What?
It's not. There's not. And there's no aliens. It's fine. Which is what someone would say when.
Listen, if there were aliens, the first thing I would say is there's no aliens.
There's no aliens. I would still say that.
I don't want to talk about the B-3 bomber.
I don't want anything else.
Here's what I'm trying to tell you. Aliens are dropping the 5G, and the coronavirus is nothing but a smokescreen for how the 5G is going to be using mind control to control the presidential election.
Is that what everybody's saying?
Come on.
And by everybody, I mean a small online community group.
And those masks that everybody's buying, they've got chips in them that multiply.
No, that was the test.
The 5G.
That's the COVID test.
That's the 5G signal. Is that it? Oh, yeah. I had the COVID test. They poked my blood-brain barrier, so now I'm more susceptible.
You're going to be one of them.
Yeah. Like they put a chip up in there, so when the time comes, I'm just going to be activated.
All right, next time you see an alien article, please do not. Just go past it.
Please do not ignore it. I won't. I'll keep bringing it to the show.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on Radio U.
Look, I'm doing great.
No worries.
Don't you worry about
wait,
me.
what are we supposed to be worried about? What were you going to tell us?
No, not worried, excited.
Excited?
You ready? USA! USA! USA!
What are we excited about?
I'll tell you what we're excited about, Nikki. We have just set a record in America.
Yeah?
Woo!
Yay!
We're bigger than you, and we're bigger than last year, and things are happening, and it's awesome.
So what's the record?
We have just set a record that we have the largest deficit in history. $3.3 trillion. Now, let's keep in mind that it's not that that's all there is. It's just that it's $3.3 trillion this year.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. It's a lot of money.
I mean, unless I'm reading this wrong, which I suppose is possible.
It's a lot of money. What are we supposed to do about that? Is there anything you can do about that?
You know what? I'm actually going to see a discussion we had earlier.
Yeah.
In which I think Nikki said, if it feels good, do it.
Oh, no, not when it comes to this. I think that's why we're in this place.
So, okay, no, this says the U.S. government's budget deficit is projected to hit $3.3 trillion this year.
So that's total then?
No. Let's see. Let's see if we can get the see if I can get a read on the national debt right now. National debt. I don't understand why you killed the patriotic music. It was nice.
Oh, do you still want it?
Don't you?
I thought you were searching. I didn't want to interrupt with that.
Okay, here we go. Our current national debt is, according to usdebtclock.org, and this is in real time, $26 trillion. And
$26 trillion.
Here's what that means. Debt per citizen, that's about $80,000 each.
Mm-hmm.
Debt per taxpayer, which apparently we have more taxpayers than citizens, it's about $214,000 each. So if the government stopped paying now and they just shut down for a little while and they handed us a bill, each of us, private citizens, for $215,000.
Don't do that.
We could take care of it.
Could pay it off.
Yeah. So our debt to whatever ratio, like spending ratio, 136%.
Yes, I mean, this is how it's always been.
So
it's nothing new.
It's not how it's always been.
Well, I mean, when do you think this started? Like when we really start gaining traction in the debt?
I don't know.
Because I'm sure it's been a while.
I'm not a historian, Nikki. I don't know. But I know this. USA. USA.
I know you love your history podcast. It actually would be fascinating to find a in-depth podcast that kind of covered, national debt and what and why and how and all that.
Dude, I just said, let's get another credit card. If the government can just run it up, let's do it too. Let's make all our dreams come true.
That. Absolutely not. You do not want that. That will make it so much messier down the road.
I'll just call Discover Card and be like, look, can we just throw this on the national debt? They won't even notice.
Can it be forgiven? They're not going to.
Bill the Treasury, okay?
Nope.
I send them money, have them send you money.
We know not to do this.
All right. Whatever, Nikki. This idea of spending less than you make sounds downright un-American.
Doesn't it? I'm sorry to be that way.
Un-American.
The Riot Radio U.
One of the things I've been considering, and you guys know this, I'm always thinking about, what's coming next for the Riot. When you guys finally decide that the Riot's not good anymore and you move on, what are Nikki and I going to do?
What are our next options then?
I'll tell you right now, I think I could be a killer high school student. And let me tell you why. I've done it before.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of experience. I'm good in the classroom. I was telling somebody this even last night. I like to study. I like to learn. I'm pretty good at taking tests. And I'm quote unquote smart.
Sure.
Smart enough. I excelled in high school. It's real life where I'm faltering. And so the idea of going back in sounds great. So what if the Riot's over and I pretend to be a homeless kid? I could get adopted by a local family. They could meet all my needs. They're cooking for me. I'll do part of the household cleaning and then just send me to high school.
I don't think you're actually allowed to do that. That will get you in trouble.
You know what? I was told when I was a kid that I can do whatever I want when I grow up.
Reach for the stars, right?
That I can achieve my dreams.
No,
who are you to tell me I can't do this?
You had your chance to do it.
I did it, but I want to do it again.
You can't go back to a high school setting to do that. Maybe you can go back to college. You can do that, but not high school.
All right. Hang on to this. Have you seen 21 Jump Street?
21 Jump Street. The movies?
Whatever.
Oh, the cops, they go back in high school?
They go back in high school.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't the movies go back to college, though? Or it was high school, too?
It was high
really?
School. Yeah, it was. Okay. We were all supposed to believe that What's-His-Face was a high school student.
Well, I mean, in movies and TV shows, high school students are all in their 40s, so I guess it does kind of make sense.
It works.
But it's weird.
It's totally fine. Don't worry about it.
Fine, okay. If you want to, we can make this happen.
Right?
I'm sure they'll believe you.
I seem like I'm, responsible enough.
Hey, you can't go back because it'll be like, he's seen things. They'll just know. Just know because you've lived life.
Just look in my eyes like the way he doesn't care, his willingness to contribute. It's not real.
It's not real. They can honestly tell.
So this happened in Georgia. And we see these stories every once in a while. But in this case, it was Baldwin County High School in Georgia. Mm-hmm. Abe Holmes, 21 years old. He faked being homeless or something. And this woman adopted him so he could go back to school.
Aww.
And
what does she say about that? Is he still in the family or not?
I don't think so.
Yeah, and maybe that turned sour.
He apparently, like, the place it broke down is he had an argument with a woman who, I don't know that she really adopted him, but she brought him in, gave him a place to say stuff like that. There was an argument, and apparently in that argument, some truth started to come out.
From him?
Yeah.
Oh.
She called the police when he tried to steal the Chromebook that they had given him from school when he was leaving.
Oh, that must have been some drama.
But Nikki, you know what?
I can hear it though, like, you're not my mom, like all that stuff they're yelling.
I'm a grown man.
I'm a grown man. Exactly. And you're like, wait a minute.
Did you just say that?
Why are you a grown man?
What do you mean by that?
So he was going back to school though?
But Nikki, I'm not going to make those mistakes because I'm not going to get in an argument. I'll just do what they ask and I'll get good grades.
Just keep your own family, and so you don't have that layer of lying with it. And then just go back to school. They just won't know.
Who won't know? The high school? So
Your
I lie to the high school, but
no,
I don't lie to my family.
Your family won't know. They'll just think you're going to work.
I'm just suddenly I'm so happy.
Yeah, they're like, what's the matter?
So happy.
They don't have to know you're back in school, or if you do, you just tell them, oh, you're just taking classes again.
He just leaves every day and goes.
Normally, we see stories like where they'll go back to school to play sports and then to go enter into college again with a better thing.
I'll tell you this.
Are you going to do that?
You're not going to have to worry about me going back to play sports.
That's not why you're doing this?
No. That's not going to be the thing.
So then you can re-enter college at a better starting off point.
Man, I'll be looking for a note to get out of gym class. Forget about playing sports.
Obadiah, Nikki, The Riot.
Man, Netflix, right? People are canceling right and left. Nobody's watching it.
No, they're not.
Their
and yes, they are.
Their stock is tanking.
Seems like it's doing great.
They can't bring on new subscribers. I mean, this pandemic has just made people realize streaming is a joke and there's no future in it.
Now, none of that is true, by the way. Things are going great for them. Do they have the best stuff anymore like they used to? No, not really as much.
No, it's all on Peacock now.
Okay, no one said that, but it doesn't matter. We still just keep it. We still just watch it.
Mm-hmm. Now, Nikki, let's talk about the big deal.
Oh, the one yesterday?
That Netflix made. Okay.
Is this going to help them or
here
what?
Here we go. There's a quote-unquote power couple that I am beyond sick of hearing about. I would rather hear about the Kardashians.
Oh, then
I
them?
can't believe I'm saying that.
That's a bold statement.
I would rather keep up with the Kardashians
than hear about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
I throw
Is
up in my
something
mouth
about them
a
bother
little
you
every time. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know.
You know what? Do we want to dig into why? I'll tell you why. One, he's a British prince, so who cares? Like he is not popular because he earned it.
Sure.
He's not popular because he's talented. He's just some guy that happened to be born and he's a prince. Now, the other side of it, though, is Meghan Markle. Now, listen, I don't want to like completely undercut her career, but like, come on.
Well, they made her out to be like some superstar, and here she was on one like.
She was on Suits on USA.
So it's not like she was our movie royalty.
To refer to her as America's sweetheart is a stretch beyond. Okay? So then you put the two of them together. You've got this is so mean. I'm sorry. But you've got basically a B-level actress. And let's be clear, I'm a triple Z level radio personality. So, I mean, she's still so far above my weight class that I probably should get her name out my mouth. Kind of thing, right? But you combine her with British royalty, which I always have a chip on my shoulder about, and they have become something I can't stand.
It's fine. I think a lot of people agree with you on that.
I can't stand. So, but that can't be true though, because they just got signed to, depending on who you listen to, either a $100 or $150 million production deal.
Yeah, but
somebody somewhere must like them.
Netflix tends to do that. They do these deals.
But they're not. The thing is, though, Netflix is not stupid. I know that a lot of people act like they are, but they're not. They actually make business decisions based on data that in reality usually turns out to be a good choice.
But it doesn't mean that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are liked. It just means that people are curious enough to watch their stuff, either out of hate or maybe they do enjoy them.
People like them.
Spite watching is a thing.
That's true. And you know what? Like it's not personal. Like, they're probably great people. I'll bet we could go out and have coffee with them and we'd come back like, they are so cool. I loved them. That's probably very true. It is the
machine around it.
It's the machine that just drives me insane.
So this isn't mean that we're just going to get Prince Harry and Meghan Markle movies. It's a multi-year deal at Netflix that they'll make documentaries, which is even more... Could be more pretentious.
There it is. Let's use the word.
Feature films, scripted television shows, and a children's series.
Hey, what about okay, go with me here. It's a multi-season show, and it's about an American actress who falls in love with a French prince.
It's different.
It's totally different.
So they want you to understand
He's from Bel Air.
The power of that's on HBO Max. Understand the power of the human spirit, of courage, the need for connection, diverse communities and their environments, to shining a light on people and causes around the world. So the focus will be on creating, they say, content that informs but also gives hope.
All right. Well, you know what? Why don't you start by taking that $100 million paycheck and redistributing it to those in need?
That's a good way. Well, that's a very good way to put that.
And you know what? There you go. It's a 5-minute stream on Netflix. It shows you writing a check, receiving a check, and writing another one.
Right on out. So I don't know, Netflix, if everyone is as excited based on the news yesterday. But we'll see what they come out with.
Oh, and I was holding back there.
This is The Riot on Radio U.
Christmas is coming, whether we like it or not. Actually, just kidding. We love it.
And we're actually getting close to the real time. You've got fall starting in a few weeks, and right after Halloween stuff, we just move right on into Christmas.
Now, do you put candy canes on your tree?
No, I don't, but I know some people do for decorations. I never have. I think because I always have dogs, and... They would have to be up past a certain point.
I guess that's all you need to know.
They already like to eat the ornaments, and I don't need to add edible ones to it.
It's a good call. Well, the fine people at Archie McPhee, they have a new round of candy cane flavors for this year.
So I think it was last year we tried the mac and cheese ones.
We did.
And there was one other.
There was mac and cheese, rotisserie chicken, and pickle.
That's it. We tried those.
Yes. This year, they've got 3 new flavors. Flavor number 1, ketchup. The thing that would be hard about that one is that is a red and white striped candy cane.
Oh, so someone could do a joke on...
Well, there could be a joke, but I think that your brain, it is so ingrained to expect a peppermint flavor that when you start sucking on that thing and get a ketchup flavor, I don't care how many times you say to yourself, it's ketchup, it's ketchup, it's ketchup.
It'll be a hard one to get over.
You're not going to be able to get through it.
Yeah, good call on that. But they say it's a rich tomato flavor.
Okay, there's that. We've got the...
Pho. I love pho.
Pho? It's not pho?
It's not pho, it's pho. But it's PHO. But it's soup.
Pho?
But it's pronounced pho.
Candy canes.
Yeah, I could do that.
Looks shady to me, but okay.
That would be pretty good. Probably actually tastes more like a broth to it. So
it says it's a popular Vietnamese soup.
Mm-hmm. So it's more of a shiitake mushroom flavored.
No.
Oh, that's the next one?
That's the next one.
That one looks bad.
The shiitake mushroom is the 3rd flavor in the candy canes.
Why does the candy cane look like, or the guy looks like he's on something?
I think the mushroom has a candy cane in his mouth. He looks like he's smoking that candy cane. He's somebody that has been smoking for a long time and it's just eating his face away.
It's a bit worrisome. It has a bit of a haggard look to it, but
it really does.
So that's the 3 flavors?
Yeah.
Bring on the ketchup. Let's go back to that one.
Well, you said the pho?
Yeah, I'll try that too, but I don't know about any.
I don't like mushrooms.
Not going to do that one.
I mean, I suppose if you put one in front of me, I would try it. Unlike a pickle one that is just there's no chance I want that. Mushroom one would be like, hey, well, let's suck on it. Ew, it's gross, just like mushrooms.
You want to try these?
No.
We can order them. Well, I mean, do you guys want us to try these?
The answer,
is that a better question I should be asking?
The answer, or the question really is, do you think this would be good for the show?
Yeah, like if we tried it for a food fight.
The answer to that is yes.
Yes. All right. I'll look into that then. Let's see. Each option comes in a box of 6 candy canes, and it's $5.50 a box, and you just have to buy them each.
That makes sense to me. I mean, you're paying a premium because they're having to buy, or they're making a limited run of candy canes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, with actual like peppermint candy canes, you're still eating candy canes they made 10 years ago.
Hey, if you look down below, do you see there's an article like added to it? It's about maple syrup, and it's a sparkle maple syrup. It's got edible
shimmer.
Whoa, that looks good. It's got edible shimmer in it.
No,
like
Nikki,
glitter.
I'll tell you why that's no good.
Why?
Because that's not real maple syrup.
Oh, you think it's something else?
No, it's just going to be, what do you call it? High fructose corn syrup with some maple
it's not
flavoring.
the same, but you can have a shimmery breakfast. You can put them on apples. You can make maple lemonade, add some to drinks and French toast and stuff.
All right, let's see how much this costs.
The shimmer maple syrup.
Hang on, their website's taking forever.
$16.95.
Oh, I got a pop-up. I couldn't see it.
How you couldn't see it? It's just on the bottom of the article.
All right, there it is. $16.95. Nah. At $16.95, I want genuine
I'll go to the
Vermont
craft store.
maple syrup.
I'll add that into the Costco maple syrup pack.
I don't know if just putting it
They say that edible glitter technically really still isn't.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the Radio U network through the Radio U app or at riot.radiou.com.